Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back for some of you that are coming back to see part 2 of my reading. So if you are not and you just stumbled upon this reading, thank you so much for channeling or for coming in. And I know you channel. There are a number of people that are content creators and specifically diviners and channelers that listen to my content. And I really love and appreciate the support by engaging and also in the discussions that we have. Thank you so much for being here and for being present with me as I channel this information for the collective. I always like to say this. I feel like it's just like it's rote memorization at this point. We are all a part of the collective. I just like to say that we all are a piece of the puzzle and we all bring something unique to the table. So I'm not sure if someone here needs to know that and needs to remember that there is no competition in the spiritual realm. There is only levels, and we are all ascending higher and higher and higher. And the best competitor that we have is ourselves. Okay, so someone here needs to see that because we are all a part of one big network. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I felt this nudging to continue right away into the next part of the legislative branch because now that you have this overall energy, right, of what has been occurring, at least energetically, and what has shifted energetically with the legislative branch. If you haven't, I would recommend checking it out. It likely will be on the right-hand side for you guys of your video. I'm likely going to put a card for part 1. That was a really, really, really interesting message and interesting way to start this reading. So for part 2, we're going to get more specific information on what to expect for the legislative branch for the year ahead. Now, this year and what we can expect for the remainder of 2025, I should say. If anything else comes up that's later on, let's say there's something that is said that is going to happen later on and is likely to happen on this trajectory. Keep in mind trajectories. I feel like this is really important to say. You know how you can get so kind of accustomed to hearing something that you don't listen anymore and you skip? Trajectories are really important to look up, just as like to have like a dictionary definition of a trajectory. Let's look at that together because I want you guys to know what the hell you're hearing when people say this to you. So I'm just going to make sure I get it from a source that you guys are aware of, that's reputable or reputable. Merriam-Webster. Let's look up that. So there's two things here. It says the curve that a body, such as a planet or comet in its orbit or a rocket describes in space. Let's look at the second one. That's probably a bit better. It's a path, progression, or line of development resembling a physical trajectory. So when we look at trajectory, we need to look at another one because that just wasn't enough. So a trajectory is the path, for instance, that an object with mass and motion follows through space as a function of time. So if we're looking at a trajectory for a person, you standing or sitting where you are as you're watching this reading right now, you have a plethora. If you want to look into what plethora means, for instance, to know exactly what I'm trying to say, a plethora is like you have so many trajectories in a given moment. So as you're sitting here, you can decide to get the hell up, to get a sandwich. You can go and do different things, and that will change your day. A trajectory is really important to note because I want you to understand that space and time and the energy that you see around you is not limited. So that means what I tell you right now is going to be about a trajectory, a span of time that I'm tapping into, but that span of time, there are other encountered realities that we have that could have had a different experience. This is not to be a cop-out, so please don't take it as a cop-out. I heard someone say that, and I really want to make it clear. Cop-outs are when you don't know what you're talking about and you just want to avoid the conversation. I'm actually taking the time to mention this for you guys because I feel like it's so relevant. You need to realize that your reality is not black and white, and it's not purely just one trajectory across time. You are not gullible, I hope. You are not 2D. You are not a picture that someone drew and put away on a shelf somewhere. You are 3D, and you're increasingly evolving and ascending. You are not limited to a piece of paper. So this message is not limited at all for anyone. They could choose tomorrow to do something differently, each member of Congress, but we're going to go and look at what the present reality that we're living in and experiencing right now, what it says. I want to make that abundantly clear because I am so passionate about the fact that you shape your reality. You truly can get out of this one and get onto one where something terrible happens for someone or something great happens. You really have to recognize that you may not always know how to do it, but you are doing it. And your soul is doing it with you. So the best thing you can do is tap into your higher self to guide you so that you can know what is the best possible outcome for America, what is the best possible outcome for me in America or me in Germany or me in France or me in Spain or me in Hungary or me in Jamaica. Really recognize how you can make a difference in the world instead of bickering about the things that have already happened, right? Let's focus on what we can do and let's see what we can understand from the present to now, the present until the future. So you guys are seeing this in the future, so that's why I'm saying it that way. You guys are going to see this a day in advance or so, 2 days in advance. So you are the future. Please recognize what you can do in the moment with this information rather than putting it down and rather than diminishing it or saying it didn't happen. For instance, I've heard too many people talk about readers and say, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. And it's like, bro, you need to understand the person behind the actions in order to understand how creative people can be about their trajectories. I really, really, really feel drawn to do like a story time with this, with being a reader and tapping into these energies because man, do you get humbled real quick when you talk about people and when you address their energies. They are not limited by a reading, okay? So we're gonna be tapping into this, guys, and we're gonna go month by month for the year ahead. We're going to see what's going to happen or what could happen as a result of the choices that are made based on what they currently present here today. Today is, I was about to say March, April 14th, 2025. It's the afternoon and I finally got a break. Keep in mind, I come here right after working and helping with my child. So I never dress up for this, okay, guys? So just remember, you will not get that unless it's a special occasion. I come prepared energetically, not physically. So I hope you enjoy this reading. I hope that you know this reading is not limiting anyone. And we're going to tap in and see what happens and what unfolds, okay? So just want to say that for people that are new to my content and my energy, please do not take this as the Bible, okay? Neither should you take any reader's information or what they say as the ultimate authority in your life. That was never the intention. It's to help you, not to tell you what you should do 100% of the time. Your advice is typically what's going to provide you with the best result. It's not what you should always do because your heart and your intuition is going to tell you as well. So let's see what comes through for the months. And I'm going to pull up the spread for you guys. So to remind the people that are coming in about this is the legislative branch. So this is the branch that is made up of the Congress, that is the Senate and the House of Representatives. So we have those two groups that make up Congress here. And it also includes the special branches that are tied to both that assist them. We also know that the legislative branch's roles, according to USA.gov, because I like to make sure I pull it up and make sure I read it for you guys. We know that the legislative branch is drafting proposed laws for the US. They're also involved with confirming or rejecting presidential nominations for heads of federal agencies, federal judges, and the Supreme Court. They have the authority to declare war. So pretty important. Let's get into the first month here. So let me look at the spread. Let's look at January. And this is going to actually, let's go to April, and then we'll come back to January. So April 2025, Spirit Team, we have the Ace of Swords. That is the first card for their energy. So there's a lot of, okay. With the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, we're having two swords. This isn't about emotions here. So this is about practicality and also about being very straightforward and to the point. You could think of an act of war in the sense of saying, this is where I stand and this is my hand. Can you see it? That energy of I am striking. So there's an energy of being very clear, I was going to say, like, there's an energy of being very forward with what they know or what they want people to know. So I'm getting a lot of communication happening and a lot of standing their ground and being very intentional with what they say because they want to remain clear. So on the legislative side, on both ends, on Congress's end as a whole, it seems as though they're trying to be more focused on the truth and on what they can understand about clarity in the situation. Bottom of the deck was that Queen of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune here. One moment. So the House of Representatives and the Senate are 3 steps ahead of you guys. The reason why I'm telling you this is because your spirit team and my spirit team wants you to know, and I have the ability to tap in with my higher self. It's not just my spirit guides. You are not just your spirit guides, okay, guys? So I can tell that they're saying they're 3 steps ahead of us. What that means is, so there's 3 proposed events that are going to occur in the government. I don't know what they are, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what these 3 events are. All that matters is that they have an understanding of what they're going to do for all 3 already. Meaning, if there's 3 meetings, for instance, like let's say there's 3 involvements that they have to get their hands into, they are so ahead of the game that they basically already know what to say for the one that's coming up. This is not the norm of like I feel like I have to clarify this. This isn't like, you know, when you have your assignments for school and you're like, I want to make sure I do all of the work for the month. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is that they're very well aware of like how to strategize, and they're trying to get ahead of the things that Trump is trying to do specifically for a group of them. And keep in mind, I have no personal feelings towards either Trump or anyone, honestly. It feels like the energy of someone that is trying to stay aware of when things could take a turn, and they're just trying to be ahead of it. So, what else, Spirit Team? Why are they 3 steps ahead? The end of a tough cycle approaches. So there was a tough cycle that they experienced here. If you guys know what that is, please include that if you'd like to. There was a tough cycle that they experienced right before, and they had to get prepared, and I think this was around the time. So I'm getting specifics. I'm getting that it was around the time that they recognized that Joe would not be able to run towards the end, and they actually recognized a tough cycle would approach. And this is both sides. This is not just one side, and the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes certain things can kind of like go neck and neck in politics, but in this instance it felt like they already kind of knew ahead of time. And they kind of were like, okay, 3 steps ahead is best for us. Let's strategize on how we can be ahead of this and how we can look at what proposed legislation we want to enact and how we can get there. And let's make sure that nothing gets in the way of that, because I feel like they had to be. And this took a lot of time. I'm not sure how much time they had to take, like outside of what they typically would do when they meet up. They had to take some time to strategize very well. We have the Hierophant coming through as well. I feel like the energy shifted a bit to where it's like I have to make sure that I get another deck to assist me with this. Spirit team members, please assist me with understanding what the shift is all about, because it feels like I'm actually doing what they're doing. I'm shifting gears and I'm moving in a direction that I did not anticipate. So that tells me, and that's important, right? You have to be able to flow. I feel like they're trying to flow, and I feel like they're also trying to, there's something about with the justice system and them having to try to remain impartial or look impartial, because I think of the Two of Wands as someone that's planning something ahead of time, and having to kind of create ties or understand the ties that bind or the ties that they have, and whether I'm hearing it will sustain or whether it is going to be a trustworthy or credible person to join. So there's joining forces. There's three. We had 3 steps ahead, and then we have that 3 of Cups here that I'm seeing that also came through. So there's something about a group, and I feel like this is like 3 groups too. So why is the number 3 so significant? We will see as we go, but that's just the first month. I just want to let you guys know. So first month we have that Ace of Swords, so there's like an attack here. So this month there's something about striking, and perhaps that is striking something with the majority. I don't know what that would be and what we will see that to be later. Let's see what else comes through for May, and then I will tie this all in together. Okay guys, so May 2025. May 2025. These are broken partnerships, guys. So this is the energy of, we said what we said in April, and now we're going to have to deal with the people that are broken down. What number do we have? It's 3. Again. So they're 3 steps ahead, and there's also something about breaking up a group of 3. So this could be like, for instance, the classical Democrat Republican. This could be the people that are bipartisan being the 3rd. But there's something about these people that are in the House and are in the Senate going through breakdowns of their friendships, breakdowns of their contracts with people within their own court. For instance, if we have 2 Democrats or 2 Republicans, they're not going strictly off of that anymore. They're kind of breaking up because there's certain things that are being enacted that perhaps they feel more drawn towards. And remember what I said in the last reading, guys, about the intuitive energy that came through. If you have not listened to the first part, this will not help as much. You will need to go to that video when you can, because you can be down for the ride and that's totally fine, but I don't want you to be questioning what's being said here if it's available to you, right? So there's something here about the 3 of Pentacles and breaking down ties and breaking down friendships. Why is the 3 of Pentacles in reverse here? For May, this is what you can expect. There's going to be more chaos in May with regards to the legislative branch because of the breaking down of ties. And this is about the past. This is bringing up the past, okay? So why is the 3 of Pentacles here? 4 of Wands. Yeah, so there's also something about past relationships coming back together. So if 2 people in the group decided that they were partnered, they would be partnered together in the beginning, and then they didn't find favor with each other, or they didn't like each other, there's something about them uniting again. So there's something about just the shift of groups and contracts within the legislative branch. And then we have that Star. We had other ones that came out, but they were all turned down. That tells me it's not the most important card for me to see, but the Star came out. So that's about healing. So this is about healing partnerships. So there's going to be like a reconstruction is what I'm hearing. Reconstruction in a sense, not of like the formalities of what the legislative branch is, but perhaps I just don't see it being, it doesn't have to be as strict or as by the book as it sounds with like breaking down the legislative branch. It's more so the people recognizing who who their allies are and who their friends are and who are not their friends. And I know that you need to remain impartial, but there is still humanity in within us, and we still kind of can cling to the people of the past that we have a close connection to. So there's something about close ties and about the connections, and I keep hearing the ties that bind over and over and over. So there's bound people within both sides that feel like they need to cling to what they know and cling to agreements that they are feeling more in alignment with as well. So there's some that are going back to the old, and there are some that are going into the new. And there is something about healing or about doing something that is kind of a wild card too, because I think of Aquarius energy when I see the star, and that feels like a pioneering and new way of doing things. So things are shifting dramatically for the legislative branch. Let's keep going. In May, at least, there will be something that you will hear with regards to a breakdown if it follows this current trajectory. This is all dependent on whether the current trajectory takes an unexpected turn, like something shifts. And I usually intend to get the trajectory that is in the highest benefit of the group and of the government. So I'm going to continue to have that intention. And if they stray from it, that is not on us, that is on their decision making processes. So June, what is June? We have the Six of Pentacles. This is balance. So after having the Three of Pentacles in reverse and having some disorder with contracts, perhaps people breaking things down, there's this balance or this tit for tat or this reciprocity that's coming through. And this is about recognizing when you're at an impasse, perhaps, and when you need to say, okay, let's stop doing this and let's compromise. This is feeling more of a compromising energy. It's feeling more of like, at least we're both getting something out of our partnerships within the branch itself. Okay, I want you guys to recognize there are groups within that are kind of like, I'm seeing the Magician. Yeah, I was gonna say scheming, but I'm not trying to say it in a negative way. It's more so just like planning things and trying to manifest things to come out to happen a certain way. And we knew that, right? I hope that's not news to you guys. I feel like that's normal to kind of like plan things when you have a certain goal in mind. So let's keep going. For July Spirit Team, whoa, that was the Nine of Wands. So we had the Nine of Wands come out sideways. So that tells me that there's going to be a bit of struggle after this balancing act. And here's what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing specifically with them is that they're going to have to come to the recognition, as I mentioned in the first video, of saying, okay, let's take what we can in this situation right now. You know, perhaps they're having issues and disputes within because of difficulties with Trump. But this is just because I feel like they had prior agreements or arrangements, and they're just not, they're shifting in some way. And so there's this energy that came in where things were shaken up, and I feel like they're going to have to remain resilient even when it feels really difficult. So resilience here is what's going to be pursued for June. Okay, guys. Or rather, let's see. This is April, May, June for July. July is going to be a time of trying to stand up, and it's like the wounded warrior. It's like we made an agreement, but now we have to sit with it, and we have to actually like deal with it. The month prior, it was like, all right, I guess we have to compromise, whatever. But now it's like, okay, pushing through it and saying, okay, we said what we said then, so we have to honor that. Something about that is significant. They might just be overrun and very overwhelmed because we have that Ten of Swords. So it feels like they're just feeling like there's just too much to go through, because I think of swords as like paperwork. I feel like they already feel this way, but I'm saying there's like an extra like burden impressed upon them with legislation that they're going to have to deal with. And I feel like they're trying to square it away by breaking it down between them. But yeah, there's just something about friendships closing. I'm hearing closing out or closing down. Certain friendships are not going to be the same. So let's get into August. Wow, four wands though. We have four wands. Something great is happening in August for the legislative branch. Four swords. Are they taking a break? I don't know. There's something about the King of Cups. So something about taking a break or having time with your family or having time to enjoy. Something is happening for them. It could be about family and like getting to see them again. King of Wands. We have two kings. We have the King of Wands and the King of Cups. So I'm getting a very like driven energy and a very boisterous energy with these two. So it feels like 4-4 King King tells me that they're feeling like there's more stability, judgment. So something is going to be decreed or said or stated in August. And I feel like that also is the fall for them. So I don't know if that's like the end of like their time, like they can get a break, or this is the start of something, but they're going to be enacting something in August 2025 and they're super excited about it. So that's what I'm seeing, and that feels like yeah, it's a judgment call, justice here. So something is really exciting for them at that time. What could it be? What could we glean from that, spirit team? What could be happening at that time? Yeah, all that glitters, but it's all that glitters, and usually when I think of all that glitters, it's flashy energy. It's very flashy. What else? We have the fates. This is like the star energy to me in the tarot, and that's 16, 17, and we have 43, deep knowing. So interesting. What is that? All that glitters saying? Because this can go a number of ways. What is the all that glitters trying to say? Presentness is what I'm hearing. So all that glitters isn't gold though. So I don't know what flashy thing is coming in, what new toy they're going to get, in the sense of it could be a person, no offense, but it's like the energy of someone that looks at something as like an object. Something is shifting in August and that person or the group is looking at it like, wow, ooh, let's see what that's all about. And they feel like they've been waiting for this for a bit, and there's here and now a never-ending story. So they're trying to be present in the midst of the difficulties that they had in the month prior, and this new thing that comes in, it really helps them feel a bit lighter. So I don't know if this is a new person, but there's something new here, new and shiny, quote unquote, that is coming in for them in August. um, they're hoping that this will mend something. So for some reason they feel like this is going to be a really great opportunity to mend something. What is this thing in August that they are expecting, spirit team members and spirit guides? So we have here 70. Okay, guys, 70 coming through. Interesting energy. Let's see. We have the Oneroi, the sons of Nyx and the brothers of Hypnos. The Oneroi are the personified spirits of dreams. Out of the dark night of Nyx were born still more siblings, Moros, Momus, Eris, Nemesis, and Oisis. In the Odyssey, Homer says, astride the abode of dead spirits lies the land of dreams, where some dreams are truthful while others deceive. You guys can look, there's not really that much going on. It's not that big of a deal. It was Morpheus, or it says, indeed, numbered along the Onerai are or is Epialus, the daemon of nightmares. The leader of the Oneroi is Morpheus, the spirit who takes human form in dreams. It was Morpheus whom Zeus sent to King Agamemnon with a message resulting in the downfall of Troy. This is visions, the subconscious mind, musings, visitations, imaginations, and the collective unconscious. So we have a big astrological event happening that has something to do with Neptune or Uranus, because I feel like that's coming through. We have something with regards to the subconscious mind, and I feel like people are going to be digging deeper into their subconscious mind. So there's something about an openness that happens in August. And I also feel like this is about a visitation from someone as well. So this could be someone that they dreamed for or dreamed to have in their court or to have around. That's significant. I'm just getting a lot of illusions in this card though. So it feels like it's something that feels like a drug. I don't know. This person may be just very hypnotic. And there's something about this energy, like they're just gonna feel like on cloud nine for some reason. Very, very interesting to experience, but someone's coming in. This could be someone that someone's dreamed for, like I said. They feel like this, everything will go away or everything will be better in some form or fashion with this person there. So let's move on into the next month. Okay, so we have April, May, June, July, August, and September is next. What can we expect for September, Spirit Team? Wow. So we have one there. September is the Queen of Cups. We had the King of Cups come out earlier. So this is about, I think, that person. So this person could be a water sign. This person could be I almost said Libra. So it could be a Libra, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Libra gives me the vibe of someone who's maybe aesthetically pleasing, like they dress well or they look well, or there's something about being very balanced, because I'm feeling like the Empress energy with this person. Now the Queen of Cups is here, but at the bottom is the Five of Cups, so there's something about someone in her family, perhaps, if this is a actual female. So I will say female and male, and I hope you don't take that offensively, but female. So we have someone who feels like disappointment, and someone who has had an experienced loss in the past. It could have been a loss of a family member. And this person had to kind of take care of affairs. Perhaps that's the person coming back. Maybe someone had to leave because they had to focus on family for a bit, and now they're back and they're really happy about that. But September is going to be more fulfilling and more in the feminine energy, which means that there's going to be some feminine, some more of a nurturing energy coming in for September with the house, or with the, specifically I'm saying the house, so it must be the house specifically. But we have the Seven of Swords. This is about sneakiness though. I don't know, this person might come in and like come in really fast, and maybe it's a surprise for some people. I'm not sure, but the Seven of Swords is here to tell me that. And we have the Emperor coming through as well, upright. So the Emperor is here. So there's someone that's here to lead, or someone that's here to strike, or someone that's here to do something really beneficial, or take on a role. And I almost said take on a toll. So someone, it might take a toll on this person to have to do so many things when they come in September. When they come in on August, September will be very busy for them. This person might report directly to the president, or just report directly to someone someone higher up, and you're aware of who this is. I feel like this is someone you would know with the Emperor. Excuse me. What about anything else before we move on to October? Yeah, there's nothing else. October. What would October bring, Spirit Team members? Six of Wands, Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Wow. A lot of movement, guys. A lot of great things happening, in the sense of like a lot of powerful energies coming through. There's this king here, there's the queen, there's the energy of practicality and of getting a lot of abundance out of something that comes in very quickly for them. The Queen of Wands is also telling me that this person, I feel like, is the queen. I feel like the specific person within the house specifically, it could be one of the two. I just noticed how I slipped and said house. So I'm feeling like it could be someone from the House of Representatives that really stands up for something, or addresses something, or is in the news or in the media about something with the King of Pentacles. This could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but this person can also be another feminine energy within the group that is a fire sign, and I almost said air sign. Really, there is an air sign in the midst somewhere that's going to be on the news more often, or is going to come up again. But we have a lot of movement with these two people. There's going to be a lot of success. So this Queen of Wands might experience a lot of success or recognition for what she's doing. And then this king is going to have a lot of movement because of this action that this queen has taken. So I don't know, there's something about these two people coming through for October. Please remember that and see how it fits when we see it happen, right, in real time. And if it happens, right, based on their trajectory. So let's move on into November. I learn as I go with regards to the concept of time, and understanding like how the spirit world works with me and how it works with all of us. It's just interesting to tap into how deep it goes, and how it's not very cut and dry. So I'm gonna put this back. Five of Cups though. If it comes out, you'll know. I want to see what November has. What does November have for the legislative branch, Spirit Team? Okay, November has the Strength card. So there's some resistance here in November. Strength. We also have the Two of Cups. I feel like this is linked to the partnership I just told you guys about, but this can also just be alignment with one another. I feel like it's the sense of there's a there's like a karmic energy with this one though. It feels like the karmic energy of two people that will never relent. So there's like an energy of two powers not relenting, and this could be within Congress, right? House not relenting, Senate not relenting on something, and there's going to be a bit of stubbornness that we're going to see. That's pretty annoying, perhaps. We also have the Sun though, so it's something about this is about revisiting the book is what I'm hearing. So opening up something and addressing it and seeing it written out. So this is about free expression of each other, like free expression of their energies. There's just like a vibe coming in with this that I feel like is deeper than these three cards, because when you see these three, you think like it's just a beautiful energy, and I get that. But when you're channeling, sometimes the cards tell you more later on. And I'm getting the vibe that it's good for each side, but it's a very stubborn energy. It's not an integrity. It's not about integrating two parties. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nor do I. I'm not. Am I trying to say that this is what is going to happen? Right? Integration of Democrat and Republican. I always see those two as being around. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to the House and the Senate, there's like more so a staunch opposition to certain things that you're going to see in real time a lot stronger. And we have that Page of Cups, which is an immaturity that could be inner child, but in this case with the devil at the bottom, this is an immaturity that comes through with knowing your side, and there's a stubbornness. So you know how you can heal something, or it can take like a long time to heal something. Like for instance, let's say you are having a breakup with someone, and you say to yourself, I am never going to go back to this person, it's over. There are times many of people have done this where they actually go back to the person and they're happier than ever with them, because they make up and they fall, they get back into the flow of things, and then a greater fall comes. That is how this feels. It feels like when something got they got that compromise earlier on in June, when they have that compromise, but then later on they're happy about this new person that's helping or assisting in some way, new in the sense of returning, and then they begin to get a little cocky. This is cocky energy, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. More than just the cards, it's the energy behind it. This is cockiness. So we're getting like a cocky vibe here for November. Now with December, we'll see how that goes for them. December is the Ace of Pentacles. This is about something, an opportunity that's going to come in. And I'm hearing for some reason Elmo, and there's nothing around me with that word or like the name. So Elmo, this could be just something about like children. So there could be an opportunity to work with children. There could be something about legislature with regards to children, something about like relationships. So when I think of the Ace of Pentacles, I think of like partnerships, like a man and I don't know, I'm thinking of like specifics. So yeah, look at that. Six of Cups. I'm thinking of structure of relationships coming up in December. What does that mean? Let me see. Wheel of Fortune. So sideways though. When you have the Wheel of Fortune upright, I think of it as fate and destiny, but I feel like it's saying this is an inevitable thing that happens every year is what I'm getting. So whatever you guys know about December and what happens every year, something is happening again, and I feel like they're going to be taking more of an independent stance. So here we have that sun again coming in from November. So there's something about exposure and exposure of pursuits. So I don't know if there's like a new pursuit that we're going to be hearing about in the media that they're going to really blow up because they want you to know about it in order to put your energy into it and to help it push forward. That is commonly how the media is used. So there's something about using your energy, and I'm hearing energy switching. So perhaps this will be something that will be a bit surprising for you that you're going to back up. But there's something happening in December that people are going to stand for. And it's going to be something that has been in the process for a while. I don't know. This is something about, let's see what could come through. What is this new thing, this new opportunity that's, okay. Anything else? There's 2. Oh, wow, 3. Okay. Anything else? I feel like I need to make sure. I'm not going to read all of these cards all the time because I feel intuitively this is going to be okay. So we have number 12. This is what I'm going to read to you. I don't know the name. I just can see the imagery, and I know that this is an owl, a swan, and I've read the swan before for you guys. And then we have 36. So there's something here about beauty, and this is going to be something that pertains to families in some way. So what is that all about, Spirit Team? Number 12, we have owl, able to turn its head 270 degrees and see at night. The owl is affiliated with a sagacity, perspicacity, and acumen. A group of owls is a parliament, sacred to the goddess of wisdom. The owl of Athena was originally the mortal Nictamene, princess of Lesbos. R-worded by her father, the girl fled to the darkness of the forest in shame. If you guys need to read the book, you guys can get it as well. Pitied by Athena, Nictamene was transformed into an owl by the goddess. Usurping Corone, the woman Athena turned into a crow. The owl became Athena's symbol and familiar. The crepuscular owl acts as a metaphor for the arrival of knowledge after the day's facts fade away. So this means erudition, prudence, having prudence, incisiveness, observation, vigilance, and veneration. So this is all about wisdom, as we already knew with the owl. This is about wisdom and observation, okay? With the swan, let's read that. Okay, guys, so let's continue. With the swan here, we had beauty, grace coming through, inner strength, intuition, self-awakening, and commitment. So there's something about the beauty and strength and grace that it takes to observe a situation and to remain vigilant. So with the question on what this activity or what this new law that's going to be enacted is, it's about beauty, grace, and something that has been happening, or at least been in the works for a long time. So with the last card, let's see what else it says. All I can get from this and glean from this is the insight that comes with the owl totem of watching and waiting and having the wisdom to know when it's time to hold back and when it's time to act on something. And also the beauty and grace that comes with listening more than speaking. So there's something about this being something that's been in the works for a while, but it hasn't been spoken about openly to the media or to us. That's what I'm getting. Let's get into 36, the last one. Nesamine, or yeah, I think it's Nemesine, the goddess of memory. Nemesine is daughter of Gaia and Oranos and aunt to the All-Father Zeus. By her nephew in the disguise of a mortal shepherd, Nemesine became mother to all of the 9 muses. Next to the Lethe or Lathe, the river of forgetting in Hades is a pool of remembering overseen by Nemesine. Dead souls drink from the Lathe to forget their past lives, but Orphic wisdom instructs the dead to drink from Nemesine's pool in order to remember, thereby breaking the cycles of reincarnation. Ironically, the Titaness, Nemesine, is often overlooked. This is about memory. This is about seed of creation, fertility, and expression of the self. This is something that was long forgotten. That was something that was in the making, and I think this was something that might have been proposed in the past, but it was not the right time to do so. And so what they want you to know is it's something that you may not expect. And I'm hearing Pantheos. I know Pantheon is related to what we had in the book, so that's like a group or league of spirits or gods. But there's something about gods and goddesses, and like The experience of, it's like the history of veneration is significant. This is something that was honored by the people in the group that they waited for and wanted to have happen, and it didn't happen, and they kind of forgot about it. But now they're remembering, oh wait, we can do this. This is something that is possible now. So I don't know what research, or I don't know what new thing this is yet. Let's keep going. We have don't let pride get in your way. So there's a need for someone not to get prideful or boastful when they share this with people. There needs to be love in this situation. Please help us understand what the hell this is, because this feels really big. What is this opportunity? There might be a reason why we're not being told. Chop wood is the reading that, or the card I'm getting. So 42, chop wood. I'm getting messages for you guys, and it's really distracting, this one in particular. So I have to choose wisely what I say to you guys, because you may need to look at another reading. 42. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done towards the end of the year, and I feel like they're doing their own thing when this thing appears, or when this thing is addressed or assessed. So I don't know if it's something that's going to fall in their lap because someone mentions it to them and they're like, oh yeah, we had that for like years, we were waiting for that to happen. So they're just being present, and they're trying to find peace. So there's something about the end of the year bringing an opportunity for peace. And we have soulmates. I feel like this is a karmic situation between the House and between the Senate, and they're going to have some peace in between, but it's because of something between them that is going to really empower them. This could be Christmas, right? Or something about the energy at that time, reflecting a lot of grace, beauty, wisdom, and reflection this month. So for December, that is what I have. So let's keep going. If you guys are enjoying this video, by the way, and you guys are enjoying this energy exchange, and you are open to new people in your life, or open to people that are also gifted in the esoteric and are open to building a community, please feel free to share what you feel like resonates for you so far, or just an appreciation for people out there that get you. I feel like something about that is coming through for you guys, and I'm trying not to channel for you. So if you feel like you like this video so far, please like, share, and subscribe. Doing so will help people see this, and it will help people have exposure to the people that are needed in their environment to inspire, to affect change in their life. So I feel like we're all inspiring each other. That is why we're all on this website. So let's keep going. Let's do January. That came out real quick. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, family. So there's something about family. What about it? Okay, we have the Magician, but I thought I heard something. Okay, I'll have to come back, you guys. I'll be right back. Hello guys, I am back. I had to take a moment, so if you notice that I'm wearing something new, it's because I had to go and take care of things here at home. But I did look back at the video thoroughly, looked from beginning to end, and I now want to continue on from the Magician that we got. So with the Magician and the 10 of Pentacles here, this can look like for January of 2026. So we're going to be getting into 2026 now, so a year from when I do this. So we're going to see what happens in the beginning of 2026, at least on its trajectory, and see what the 10 of Pentacles and the Magician are all about, because this could be something about inheritances or families being addressed. This could be about an opportunity for a plan. This could even be a 10-year plan, or a plan that's enacted that involves families, or could involve like the growth of America. So this could be something about a plan that we usually do have a plan put in place in the beginning of the year. So this wouldn't surprise me if this was the plan that typically the president would have, where they're trying to undergo a number of changes in order to create a better family, a better home, a better America. Something along those lines is coming through. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a teaser into what that is. So what is the subject at play here with this plan that's coming through? Yeah, wisdom. So it's about a wiser America. So something about legislation that's going to be enacted. It could be something that goes on for a term or so. Specifically, that's going to be catering towards being more wise with, for instance, money, because we're talking about pentacles and about manifesting more money. So there's something about being wary of what you put your money into and of making sure that it's going to reap the best rewards is what I'm hearing. So that's what's coming through for January. Interestingly enough, at the bottom of the deck, we have 37 in reverse, and I feel like I need to read that for you guys. So let's see what 37 is all about for this one. I'm going to be reading just what it means. I know that the stories are quite interesting, but I do want to see how this makes sense. It says sleight of hand, appropriation, deception, the artful dodge, a leg up. Okay, so so the legislative branch is going to be doing something really sneaky that is going to be beneficial for us. So they're trying to do something that's a little sleight of hand that is going to be deceptive towards a specific either group. Let's see what group it is. Is this within the US first and foremost? Let's start off with the question. Is this deception going to involve people within the court, within the United States? No. It's about borders and about defending. So something defensive, some defensive tactic is going to be enacted, and there's going to be action reached. So this is a very active energy with 2 wands, and this is about people outside of the country. So there's going to be something enacted in the beginning of the year that legislation is going to have some issues with passing, right? They're going to feel caught up. They're going to feel like really unsure. So there's going to be like a neck and neck kind of race or tie between the two houses, I feel like, with this, and it's going to be involving people within families and immigration perhaps, or this is going to be involving getting the upper hand of a situation that involves families in some way, and of defending families in some capacity, either defending from or defending them within. So it's not aimed at people that are citizens, it's aimed at people outside of that. Is that correct? The Hermit. So deeper reflection is needed for this one. What is not being seen by myself? We have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is here. And then we have that 10 of Wands, and it's sideways. This is burdens for the women. So we're getting the Queen of Pentacles for the 10 of Pentacles, right? So this is about mothers and about burden. A burden with regards to child rearing or family planning. Is that correct? Is this in regards to family planning in some capacity? Yes. We have the Hierophant and the Hanged Man. Something that they feel is an injustice. Something that they feel like is an injustice, a number of people within the House or the Senate. They're trying to allow women to have the upper hand, and something about being held in suspense from something of the past. So there's change coming with regards to women. And it seems as though someone might count this as a loss, because I'm getting the King of Wands, 6 of Swords, and the 2 of Pentacles. Like, this person's going to concede and say whatever, but they're going to find some issues with it and juggle it. So this could be a deal. Interesting. A deal that an executive has with them in some way. I don't know how this is going to go, but there's something about them breaking down a deal, and this person, this king, whoever that king is, it seems like someone in higher authority that decides to go along with it. That leaves the situation there and says, okay, well, let's just go on, move on. And they try to just find out how they can juggle 2 things. So this is feeling like Trump, or this is a fire sign within his house, like within his cabinet, that is going to find some issues juggling what happens in January. They're going to have some issues with people, and I feel like they're going to have to juggle people's perceptions of them. Like they're going to try to like appeal to certain people that maybe would never or would not perceive themselves liking this person, and they're going to have they're like trying to please people. This feels like people pleasing, and you could say like, "Oh, that doesn't, you know, anyone can say it doesn't look like that, but this is an energetic thing." I'm feeling like someone who's trying to please other people here. So that's what we see for January. And yeah, it's interesting that this was the only card in reverse out of a deck of cards. All of them are upright. All of them are upright. So this is definitely saying that we need to watch out for this in the background, this deception, and us trying to play some people outside of the US. Are there specific countries that you want to mention, Spirit Team? I saw the Three of Cups earlier as well when I was shuffling. It like came out like this. So there's something about it working for someone. This is a partnership, and I remembered back in the day, wow, back in the day I did a reading on Donald Trump, and I did a reading on him and two other people. Something about a politician. I could have done it on Biden, and it was about a group of three people, and it's getting that, I'm getting that energy all over again. So someone within the cabinet, Trump's cabinet specifically, is trying to address this with two other people, or there's something about celebration in some regard. Maybe this is something that will win popularity, or the opposite. We'll see. It's just something about popularity and about rejoicing, the Empress. This is about women or child rearing or something along those lines. So with February of next year, 2026, oh yeah, we were going to ask the question, right, guys? We were going to ask, are there any particular countries? They don't care. So the energy is, it doesn't even matter. It's about protecting borders and protecting the people within our court. When I see the earth sign energy with the Queen of Pentacles, it could also be in relation to women of African descent specifically. So like this law or this thing that's being addressed. But it also could just be Pentacles, earth energy, people within their court, and they don't even care who it is. I'm not getting specifics as to a yes or no. It just feels like they're trying to learn from the people around them. So they're observing people outside of the country, as I stated before for you guys, looking at people outside of the country in the last video, and they're trying to learn from them, and they're learning that they need to focus on within more than outside of their borders. So for February 2026, we have, ooh, interesting. I feel like these are specifically meant to come out. We have Temperance. So we have Temperance, then we have the Two of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Hermit in reverse. I just said ew. This is an interesting energy for February. There's something that someone has on a person of power within legislation, or this is within the cabinet. So this could be the president himself, or this could be someone in his cabinet. There's something that about information that is going to be there's information that's going to come out from someone watching for quite a while, and I don't know who this person is that's watching, but what they want you to know first and foremost is the information is going to be expressed to the person that did these things, like the person that's going to be on the chopping block, so to speak. We'll see if it even gets to be a situation where people hear about it, but someone has information on someone and they're going to express that. Guys, I'm going to show you what I have. We have the Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups, and the Lovers. To form, I almost said a plea bargain, but I just feel like what they're trying to say is they're forming an agreement with a person who did something, and I don't know what side of the Congress, like who specifically, we're going to find out in a second, but I'm hearing 38. Is it 38? Number 38 on the list of people within Congress is significant to this reading. So we're going to find out who 38 is. I have like the list of people within Congress. We're going to look and see who that is. But we have the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. This person's going to get something done because they have the go-ahead from a person that they formed a deal with. Now, does this person have information on the party they're teaming up with? Do they have information on the person? Yes. Yes, they do. That's the Hierophant is someone you look up to. So this is someone that's a superior in a sense. This is a superior to someone in legislation. So someone in this branch. They've worked with them or known them for quite a while. They have their illusions about them. They don't trust them though. The Page of Pentacles is telling me that they have worked under them and they don't quite care for them, but they're not going to tell them that. They're just going to try to the other person knows that they don't quite like them anyway, but they're not going to let this get out, whatever this is. So something juicy is going to be done in the dark. And it's going to be an agreement between two people, and one it could be between a group and this one executive, like this person that's in another either branch or a person that has a lot of power above them. Definitely this is a superior. There's going to be either a group or one person that teams up with that person because of some information that they have, and that's specific for you guys to know. Keep in mind I channel when I look everywhere, guys. There's nothing else going on here except for my computers, and those usually I'll show you if anything. But usually I have like the information on Congress pulled up. I have my emails if you want to see my emails. But yeah, like I channel by looking everywhere. So if you notice me doing that, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. It's because I space out. So moving on to the next month here, we have so many things going on. I'm going to clean up a bit. Let's move on into March, and then we're going to see who number 38 is. I feel like I need to get to the March thing, and then we'll see what's going on with that person. And if it's meant to be, it will be, right, guys? It's always about waiting and seeing rather than trying to assume or anything like that. I am just curious to see how this plays out and how this comes together for all of us. And the more you know, the more informed you can be, right? Because these people are more important than the president. These people are making a lot of decisions for us. Helping to do so, and we need to know what's going on, and it's good to keep of course keep an eye out and just to look into things on your own, just to keep up with this. Let's keep going and see what this next month is all about. March, we have the Hermit sideways, so isolation. March 2026, Spirit Team, what is that all about? The Empress, the Star, and the Ten of Cups. Whoa. This is big energy, guys. We have two major arcana coming. 3 major arcana, yeah. 3 out of 4 cards are major arcana. So this is about healing. Something about reaching for the stars. I want to see what that star card is about, though, because it could be a number of things. What is this star card about? 2 of Cups. 3 of Swords. 7 of Wands. Oh, wow. Someone's walking away. So there's something here about losing trust again, even more so. Something that happens in February might be the reason why someone in the legislative branch or a group decide to lose connections or to walk away from a person. So there's going to be more strife, guys, that you're going to see, and you're going to have to be careful not to be too quick to judge and to say that you see what's going on, because media is going to kind of spin it, and you're going to have to wait and see, because I feel like they themselves are going to be so chaotic and have strife over situations that come up in February of 2026 as of today. April 14th, 2025. Please keep in mind this can change, but the months, it could be like around this time frame, around what happens in February of 2026. There's something about silence and about closing away from someone. This is about excommunicating, or rather, isolating somebody because you just realize, wow, I cannot deal with this person, or I can't stand beside this person. This person has so many things that people have found out about him. I don't know what this is, but someone in particular is going to be kind of like separated from the group because they did something, or they disappointed a group of people and they're going to walk away from them, or they're going to not be very talkative about it. They're going to try to like focus on their work and focus on abundance and focus on keeping their abundance. So if something controversial comes out in March, guys, or February, I want you to know there's already an agreement on this information, and I feel like it may come out, but all I know for sure from what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be distance. Even if you guys don't hear about it, there's going to be distance between this person that is like on the chopping block and other people, and they're going to do it for their families or do it for their own goodwill. They want to focus on reaping the rewards of something. Something is happening. It gives me the vibe of when people are all standing around for an execution and this person's going to be on the chopping block, and then everyone else is just kind of like resting their case. Like they're not talking about their involvement with this person. They're kind of like pretending like they don't know them. So I don't know what this is, guys. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's it. They're trying to just say, like, I already got it, because I was asking in my mind, is this correct or is this accurate? I'm getting the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, and I feel like that's just all I need to say. Let's look at number 38 for you guys. Let's see what's going on with that, because that would conclude the rest of the year. Let's see. So I have listed here members of the Congress here on my computer. So let's see what number 38 is. We have a list of people going down. Okay, number 38 is interesting, is Marsha Blackburn. So is Marsha Blackburn on the chopping block? I like to sometimes use randomizers and dice or different modes and methods to speak to my spirit team. So for this one, I'm getting that this person is significant, Marsha Blackburn. She is from Tennessee, so it could be happening in Tennessee. But this person is a Republican, has been on the Senate for 2019 to the present, and then was in the House from 2003 to 2019. Now, we have total, let me just give you guys the total of how many people it says on congress.gov we have 544. So of the 544, 6 of them are being addressed here. So let's tap into the 6 people that come up, and this is going to be just something to look out for. If you hear these 6 names, please let me know. So first one is 361. Let's look at 361. There's so many people. 361 is going to be, I might even put a picture. 361 is Frank J. Marvan from Indiana. This person is a Democrat, so we're going to write down 361 in my notes. Let's write down 361, Frank J. Marvan. Then the second person, these people could just be relevant, keep in mind, could be relevant for the state that they're in. So please keep an eye out for anything that happens in these states as well. Let's see, the next person is 356. That is Bernie Moreno. Please look into each of these people. He's from Ohio, so something about Ohio is significant. The last person was Indiana. And the first person I mentioned to you, number 38, was from Tennessee. So this could be about legislation in Tennessee, Indiana, or Ohio being significant and them being involved, okay? Next one we have here is 272. 272. If you can hear my son out there, he's having a great time. 272, going all the way down, is Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar. This will be how I find out who to put on the video as I edit, which involves updating the sound so you guys don't get like your ears blown out. That's a part of editing. Also, it is adding pictures for people so that you know who I'm talking about. She is from Minnesota. And let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, and then let's see 2 more. 53. I'm so tired of this scrolling up. Okay. 53 is going to be Ted Budd from North Carolina. So someone here could be from North Carolina, and that's another reason why it's coming up. He is a Republican from North Carolina. Got it. And then last but not least, who is the last person, Spirit Team? 269. Let's see. And this is according to congress.gov. This is Kim Young, or yeah, Kim Young, or Young Kim. She is from California, and she is a Republican. All right. So these are the 6 people, guys. We have 7. 38, number 38 on the list, number 361, 356, 272, 53, and number 269. So something about these states, California, North Carolina, Minnesota, Ohio, Indiana, Tennessee, being significant to what will happen for the year ahead, or just people that are going to be specifically impacted by this, as well as the people that I just mentioned here. We have Young Kim, Ted Budd, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Moreno, Frank J. Mrvan, and we had 38 was the person that I didn't get. 38 was the person that I mentioned to you guys in the beginning, but I did not write down. So if you're from any of these states, please look into more of what's going on in your state. And even if you're not as well, of course. That's very important. I will be doing the same more often. Marsha Blackburn was the last one. So that is what I have for you guys. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to continue on into the next branch, and then we're going to see what else comes through for all of you. So I hope you enjoyed this series, or enjoy this first part of the series, I should say, or part 2. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.